I'm going to bring in our guest now. We have on the program criminal defense attorney John Mobley joining us from Columbia, South Carolina. John, we're switching gears, still staying in Wisconsin, but switching gears. Totally different trial. And I know, this one is tricky, isn't it? My, oh my. Give us your assessment, if you would, please, just based on the facts as we know them and from the reporting that Julia just was able to give us.
Well, Julia, I got to call it like I see it. You're correct. This case, each side has some significant strengths. On one hand, the prosecution has an unarmed man that was shot to death. And on the other side, you have the defendant who can claim legitimately that, he was attacked or he was confronted by someone who was the aggressor in the case. He feared for his life. There's some evidence that the man that was killed had a knife, and so which would justify the use of deadly force when he is armed like that. So it's one that could go either way. They both have significant strengths. I think as far as the evidence of flight goes, I kind of think it's more is being made of it than it should be, quite frankly. I've had murder cases where the defendant took off and after the crime, and that's what you use what I call legal judo, which is where you use the strength of the state's case against him. The states want to argue that, hey, his fleeing the scene, him taking off as evidence of his guilt. Well, the defense can say, listen, he was afraid. He was an armed black man with a criminal record who shot a prominent white man after an altercation. He knows how it's going to look. He knows that the wheels of justice don't turn the same for everybody, and he was legitimately afraid, which he owns and admits. But at the end of the day, if he had a right to use self-defense, whether he took off or not, really is not relevant. So I think, there's an argument both ways, and it can go completely down the middle on this case as long as the defense stays focused on the facts as opposed to making, kind of going into the media circus that's kind of come about with this case.